Welcome back, everyone, to Public Affairs. I am your host, Kayleigh, and today I am here with Bob Goyer. So, Bob, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and why you got to where you are today in your career path?
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Marion. Graduated from Elgin High School. Graduated from Marion Technical College in business management and marketing. And after that, I was in the Air Force I was a computer operator for the most of the time in the Air Force. And I was in Germany and California, so I've been able to travel around quite a bit. And my time here in Marion, I've had a variety of different positions. They either deal with marketing in some way, public relations, or in general just helping people in their lives. I've done a lot of helping people with finding employment. I've been in career services position at Marion Tech. I did actually graduate from Marion Tech, then I worked there as a teacher and in student services. But the thing I loved doing more than anything else was helping people in their making career choices and in finding a job. I've done that for since the early 80s. I started helping people find jobs. I would do resumes. I'd help them with interviewing, and it seems like every week I find somebody, or I come across somebody that I helped them get a job, and now they're retired from their job, and they thank me for helping them get the job that they had. So that's very rewarding for me to have helped somebody like that in their life.
Absolutely. You talked about being the Community Relations Director at Kingston.
Right.
And you told me that they have an event coming up. So would you like to give some details about that event?
Yeah, we have what we call community chats. And community chats are opportunities that we bring a speaker in to on a topic that relates to seniors. And we have, this will be the first time ever, I'm really excited about it, the FBI, and a special agent is coming from the FBI to talk about senior fraud and scams. And so that is this coming Wednesday, well, no, it's 15th, October 15th, which is Tuesday, right. Help me with my days. And it's at 1:30 at Kingston. And Kingston's located at 464 James Way in Marion. And it's just an opportunity to hear from an agent about what's going on with scams and frauds and be able to ask him questions and get some really good information. We're also going to have some of the local police are going to be there as well to answer questions about any kind of local issues there might be with scams and fraud. So looking forward to that. Again, that's October 15th at 1:30 at Kingston, which is located at 464 James Way in Marion.
Yeah. So with this event coming up, what sparked the idea of having an FBI agent and what their topic that they're going to be talking about?
Good question. To be quite honest, our administrator or executive director, she asked me to come up with something different, something that would bring people into Kingston. Because one of the things we like to do at Kingston is have people actually see what we do there. Because some people think we're a nursing home, and we're not. We're assisted living, which is much different than a nursing home. And so when people get to come and they see what an apartment looks like, what we do there, the activities, and so on, and it gives them an idea of what assisted living really is. And so she said, why don't you come up with something different? So I thought, it hit me. We've never had the FBI here. That would be a cool thing to have the FBI here. Mm-hmm. And so you have to go through, it's not easy to get the FBI to come. You got to go through all kinds of channels to get them to come, but that is pretty cool to have them there on the 15th.
Yeah, must have been very difficult to have them come in. I just noticed this because I thought that Kingston was a nursing home. So what's the difference between Kingston and a nursing home?
Okay, that's an excellent question. When people call and they'll ask about Kingston, many times they do think it's a nursing home, or they don't understand assisted living. They don't understand. And so what I'll give you the long answer. Try to make it as short as I can. What I usually tell people is there's nursing homes, there's assisted living, and there's subsidized senior living. Those are all three different types of facilities that people can live in as they get older. And so a skilled nursing facility is where it's a higher level of care that people need. Maybe it's after a surgery, or they broke their hip, or they have maybe a long-term issue that they're dealing with some chronic disease or something, so they need skilled nursing. Assisted living is even though we have skilled nursing, it's more of an independent living environment, but we have nursing and other activities to help them just to live as normal and productive as life as possible. So they have their own apartment, they have their own, they can come and go as they please. Now, as maybe they can't do what they used to do, get around as easy or not as mobile, and so we can assist them with that, but they're still considered independent, but with benefits of having nurses on staff, your meals prepared for you, and activities that are designed more around an active lifestyle versus a nursing home, which is much more, you're in a bed and you're not as active. Okay. And then subsidized senior living is subsidized by the government. It's independent living, but you live independently without any of those nursing assistance or meals made for you.
See, I didn't know the differences between them, so thank you for clearing that up for me.
Oh, and one other thing, I should mention, skilled nursing typically is paid for through Medicare or other insurances, and then it could end up being on Medicaid, whereas assisted living, it's all private pay.
Okay.
We don't take insurances for living there. It's all out of pocket.
So Bob, you mentioned that Kingston doesn't take insurance. So are you allowed to disclose on how much that costs as a private pay and what the packages include?
Right. Well, to kind of just give the overview, first of all, the cost depends on the level of care a person needs and the type of apartment that they have. We have one-bedroom apartments, we have shared apartments, we have two-bedroom apartments, and so depending on which apartment and then what level of care, and when it comes to level of cares, we have independent residents, but then we have assisted living and memory care. So depending on where they fall in that, but the average, if there's an average price, I would say somewhere in the $4,000 a month range is average, $4,000 to $4,500 a month. And that may seem high to some people, but when you consider everything is paid for, that's all an all-inclusive cost. So there's utilities are all paid for, 3 meals a day are paid for, laundry is paid for, housekeeping is paid for, all the activities and bus runs to the doctor or shopping is paid for. So there's no actual other costs other than maybe getting your hair done is the only additional cost. So you compare that to maybe what you're paying out of pocket to live at home. If you have a mortgage, you have mortgage insurance, you have car insurance, you have utilities, and these days utilities are only going up all the time. And so maybe a little more, but not that much more if you think about it. Plus, if you're a person that needs help, some kind of nursing assistance at home, that cost could be added in too. It's very expensive to have a nurse come to your home and care for you. Or if maybe you need to now put a stair lift in the house, or maybe now you have to pay somebody else to clean the gutters or mow the yard. So all those costs start adding up when you're living at home. And compared to Kingston, where you just get to enjoy life, you don't have to worry about any of those things. You never have to do dishes again. You never have to cook another meal if you don't want to. So there's a lot of benefits, and then when your family comes over, they can spend time with you rather than doing things for you.
So this is just a new event that you guys are doing. What are some of the past events that you guys have done at Kingston?
Well, our big event each year is a senior expo, senior boomer expo, and that is the big event we have at the end of May, usually the Friday before Memorial Day, and we have, well, let's see, how many, well over 50 to 60 vendors there from around Marion, but they all serve seniors in some way. And then along with that, then of course seniors come, and we have 300 to 400 seniors that come, and we have ice cream social during that time. We have a lot of giveaways, a lot of door prizes. A lot of seniors love their giveaways. They love their free stuff, which I do too. So that's our big event, one big event for the year. But then we have others like coming up. We have an open house coming up soon, and this is just a way to invite the public in to see what we do. And we had with our activities department, they recently had a butterfly release. That was pretty cool. And it's really neat to get all these butterflies. They're in a little container, open it up, and they're kind of dormant, but then they come alive and they just flitter around, and that's a lot of fun to watch. Balloon launches, things like that. A lot of ice cream socials. We like ice cream at Kingston, and cookouts. Do a lot of things that are community related, because the public does like coming. Oh, we have outdoor concerts. All summer long we had outdoor concerts. We had some like Johnny Steiner, well known from Marion, Full Moon, which is a well known couple from Marion. They played. And so we just try to provide opportunities for our residents to enjoy themselves, but then we invite the public in to join in.
Yeah, absolutely. So with having people come in from the public and people that are already at Kingston, what do you hope that people gain from these event experiences?
Well, and I think I pretty much mentioned it earlier. What we hope to gain is people understand that what we are is not a nursing home, first of all, and that what we have to offer is really above and beyond what is typical for I think your average assisted living. I mean, we have great food. I mean, our main chef, Dave Steer, he's been there over 25 years. I mean, he knows how to cook. And we have other cooks that are great at making just really good food. So we're well known for food. We're very well known for all the variety of activities that we have, and we're well known for the kind of care. So we tend to hire the best of the best, and we treat them well. Our corporate office and our president of our company is very much believes in taking care of the employees, because then if you have happy employees, they're going to have happy residents. And so it is. I've worked there 13 years, and I'm actually retired, but I still work a couple days a week, and I love it.
Yeah, I will say my great-grandma was at Kingston, although I didn't know the difference between the two. Just now I learned. But she did say that she really did enjoy it. So I've told people that Kingston is a place to go.
Yeah.
Just because from her experience, she was always talking about how she made new friends and the activities that they got to do.
And she loved to sew, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah.
She did love to sew.
Her whole apartment was one big sewing place.
There were dolls everywhere, I will say that. So, Bob, you also help with the Marion County Now. So, what is one of the best parts of helping with journalists?
Well, I'm considered a freelance correspondent, and they asked me to do some freelance stuff because I really love Marion and I want to promote Marion. And so Marion County Now allows me to highlight and emphasize things that I think are really good about Marion. Like the first story I did was on the new mayor. We have Mayor Collins. And I loved doing that. I mean, I interviewed him, like a journalist, and then put that into a story, and it got a lot of good comments. Yeah. So I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy promoting what the good things and the great people that Marion has. And so that's the thing I get out of it is being able to highlight Marion.
I agree with you, because that's what I've been doing with public affairs, trying to highlight Marion, what we've got. But not only Marion, but all other cities as well.
Yeah.
So what is one of the most challenging parts of helping with the Marion County Now?
With Marion County Now, it's probably just, for me, it's making sure it's interesting for the reader. You can write whatever, but if it's not interesting, if it doesn't catch their attention, if it's not something they care about, then I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm not really doing anything to benefit anybody. But if putting it into the kind of story that people want to read, and then they remember it. If it can be memorable, that would be the best of all worlds for me.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about wanting to share more about Marion. Is that what developed your interest, or what made you want to do writing a story instead of doing what I do or a radio type of thing?
Well, I mean, the opportunity just came. They asked me to do it, and so I thought, yeah, this is great. I would love doing something like this. I've always thought it would be a blast to be like a radio announcer and interviewing people on the radio. I've always thought that would be a fun job to have, because I like asking questions, and I like learning about people, and I like learning about what they're interested in, and how they got where they are, and so that's always been something I'm interested in. And but I've never done that. But maybe someday I'll get to do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So social media is a big thing nowadays. I mean, either on YouTube or however the audience is watching us today. How do you think social media has impacted your field of journalists?
Well, I would say from the consumer's point of view, it's both good and not so good, because where do you go for your information now? Where's the information or a place you can go that you can trust, and that has the information that is accurate, honest, and I think it's harder now than ever to find those trusted medias, because there's so many. I don't know. I call it the spin, which I'm sure other people do too. But so many, to me, a lot of sources of media spin the news. Now, media is also, it's hard to know from the consumer's point of view, what they can depend on, I guess, and so from the consumer. Now, for say like a business that wants to use media, like Kingston, it's really hard because you got so many different options now. There used to be just the radio, newspaper, that was pretty much it. But now there is almost unlimited sources of information and news. So that's what's tough, I think, about it. It's great that there's that many choices, but then which ones can you really trust, and which ones can you rely on?
And I think that kind of ties into your event at Kingston with this FBI agent coming in and talking about fraud, because now there's so much more fraud opportunities within social media for other people.
And that especially for seniors, because seniors are taken advantage of, and using media is one way they do that. Through I get these email things all the time that look totally legitimate, look totally honest, but they're not. And you can learn to recognize them. But so many seniors are duped into it. They're scammed, and so they invest or give away a lot of money. And that's the reason we have the FBI coming, so you can learn how to spot those things and avoid getting scammed.
Yeah. I even get scammed. I get text messages about a UPS package, and it sends you a link and wants you to click on it and goes through this whole process. So I just don't. I think it's everyone, not just seniors, but like you said, they are more vulnerable.
They're because they're trusting.
Yeah.
And so and if it looks honest or whatever, and they can be easily scammed, and so nobody wants to admit they've been scammed, I guess. Or hacked. You think, oh, this has got to be okay to click on this. It looks great. It looks like I, should be able to, but then you click on it.
Something happened.
That's not good. Not good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what advice would you have for a citizen consumer of media, of what you write?
For me, if they're reading my or
Yes. What advice would you have for a citizen consuming your type of media?
my type of media, I would just say make sure it's a reliable source. And, if it's in Marion, you could pretty much, I think, tell if it's being slanted, say it's a political thing. In journalism, you remain neutral. You're supposed to, you don't take one side or the other. Mm-hmm. But in some stories, you can tell that they're slanted towards a particular either Democrat or Republican or whatever. And so just be aware of that, I think, is, and what they're trying to maybe lead you astray, so to speak. I don't know. Because, I read some things and I go, I'm just not sure that's quite right. I think their own opinion or their own view is kind of clouding the real issue here. And so you got to kind of look past that, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think sometimes if I'm reading an article about cats, you either like cats or you don't like cats, and it's one-sided.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important that you said that and mentioned that. What predictions do you have for the next 5 to 10 years? Do you think newspapers will disappear? Do you think newspapers will have a comeback or other types of media?
Well, I think newspapers are a dying breed, unfortunately. I don't think we'll see. I think there's always going to be a place for them, especially seniors. Seniors love holding a paper in their hand. And so that, I don't think that's going to stop. I think with seems like every year or two, there's a new media source, like whether it be Twitter or, and I don't use any of these, so I don't know. There's all these new using X, or do you use, whatever to get your feed, news feeds?
Facebook, Instagram, yeah.
Instagram, yes. So apparently a lot of people get their news now just from reading what other people are saying about the news. And I think that's a problem, because you can tell me what you think about the news on Twitter, and it may or may not be accurate. It could be just your own opinion.
Yeah.
But if I take it as actual fact, I'm really off base. Not that you're trying to do that,
yeah.
But so I don't. Now I use Facebook, but Facebook is I think very effective for families to communicate with one another, and to get local news, what's going on in the community, like announcements, like Kingston. I use Facebook a lot to announce what we're doing, so people can follow us and make sure they know what activities we have going on.
Yeah, absolutely. The pros and the cons.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I wanted to talk to you as a person that helps with Marion County Now, or as it helps a journalist, because I think it's very important that people know these type of things on what's going on around us.
Yeah.
So as we're getting ready to wrap up the interview, is there anything you'd like to add or something that we may have missed?
Well, you've asked a lot of good questions. I don't know if I've answered them the way I should or not, but if a person is like me, you never know where life is going to take you. I can remember when our son was in the 7th grade at Baker did the old school, and the teacher there, Mr. Webb, Jack Webb, great teacher, but he gave our son an F on his first paper, on his first grade report. So I went in to talk to him. I said, "Well, how? Our son, is he that bad?" And we're sitting in the classroom, and as I go into the classroom, up on the bulletin board were articles. I used to write articles in the Marion Star on job search. And he had those articles up on the bulletin board. And I go, oh my goodness, he's using mine to show how bad, of a writer is or can be. And I asked him about it, and he said that I was actually writing better than the Columbus Dispatch writer. And I was shocked at that, because my writing style is very simple. I don't have a lot of compound sentences and everything. I try to always keep it simple. And he used that as an example for his students. And so I think about that a lot, and I think, well, maybe I do have something in writing style that people want or can read. So I wrote for the Marion Star, and then now I write a monthly article in the Kingston newsletter, and I write for Marion County now. And so now writing is a main part of my life, and I never started out thinking that I was even a writer. So it's kind of so it's neat to see that has kind of developed, and God just opened up the doors, I guess, because I was willing to at least when you start putting your name on a story that goes out, and anybody and everybody can, just like being on here, anybody can watch this. You put yourself out there. That's kind of a scary thing in one sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt it was important for me to write the things I thought would help people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a key point that you made, is you can tell that your heart and soul is in Marion County, both your writing, and I think that's very important for the audience to know about what your heart and soul is for.
Well, I was born in Marion, raised in Marion pretty much my whole life, and I think Marion's a great place to live. And there's a lot of exciting things going on in Marion, and if I can help promote that in any way, I'm all for that.
Yeah. One last time, would you like to mention the date and the time for the Kingston event?
Right. The FBI on October 15th, which is a Tuesday, and it's at 1:30 at Kingston, which is 464 James Way. And there's no cost, but we would like you to call to register, so I'll give you the phone number, 740-389-2311. Call, say you're coming, registered, you bring friends. There's no limit to how many people or anything, but we would like to know about how many are coming. So we would like to serve everybody that comes one of those great desserts that our chef makes. So we always make sure we kind of give away something nice to everybody too, so they can know what it's like to have a taste test of Kingston.
Yeah. And is there an age requirement that you...
No age requirement, no. It's geared mainly towards seniors or families that have a senior in their maybe it's mom or dad living at home, and they've been they're tempted to give their money towards something. Maybe a guy has come by recently giving him a quote on the roof, and you got to really watch out for these contractor scams. Those are out there. And so, it's good information. And then knowing if you do have somebody does get scammed, what do you do about it? What is what can you do to help? You may not be able to recover the money because these people are very good at what they do, but you can know how to prevent it for the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. You might be seeing me there because I am really interested in this topic and I want to learn more about it.
Well, if you come, you can interview the FBI agent if you want to, and because he'll be there. He knows media might come, so you're more than welcome to come.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the invitation. I appreciate that. And I hope the audience takes advantage of this opportunity as well, because I think it's very important to get out there. So thank you, Bob, for speaking about that and about everything that you've talked about today.
Well, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Absolutely. And as always, you're watching Public Affairs, and I am your host, Kayleigh Aiken. Thank you.